Good morning, welcome to my channel. This is my Flosstube video number 37, and it's been a minute. Well, if you're new, you might not know that, but it's been like 2 months since my last video. And by the way, if you're new, this is a channel about cross-stitch. My channel name is Veronica X Stitch, and if you like cross-stitch, I hope you'll stay. If you're curious what that is, I hope you'll stay. I'm going to share with you my projects and talk about what I'm going to be doing. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for sticking it out. Sorry about the 2-month gap, but summer is like really busy for me and my family. We took a vacation and I feel like every weekend is just booked up. Now, as of last week, Wednesday, my kids are back in school, so it should start to calm down a bit. I should be able to get more stitching and more Flosstube videos in on the weekends. So yeah, it's like 6:20 in the morning on Sunday, August 22nd, 2022. Lots of twos in there, or 20s and twos. Did I say 2022? It's 2021. I was thinking about StitchCon earlier because they recently announced how to sign up for that. So anyway, 2021. I should get my current year right. It's yeah, so it's super early in the morning. I've got my signature wet hair just out of the shower. Well, it's partly dry because I did actually take the time to make notes and plan what I want to show you because I only have a few minutes before I have to get going with my day's activities, and then hopefully I'll be able to get any editing done this afternoon and posted. That's my goal. Or my plan, my goal, whatever you want to say. So since it's been 2 months, I do have a bunch to share with you. So I've got some finishes, lots of works in progress, whips, some plans, and haul. And not a huge amount of haul, but a little bit. I've been kind of cutting back on my spending, and I'm going to continue to do so until I can work through some of my kitted projects and get some of those going. So let's get started. So my finishes. The first one I have is an FFO, a fully finished object, and I don't have it with me because it was a gift. I made this for a teacher that taught both my kids. She's moving to a different school now, so it was kind of like a farewell gift, but she's still in our district and we can still meet up on occasion. So I'm going to insert a picture of that here over my face because so you can see it. And it is, I actually don't know what the name is. It had a bunch of words in the name like, paw print love, whatever. It was on Etsy. It's from the shop My Lovely Cross Stitch. And it is just a very small piece. So if you watched my last video, you'll know that I started a different piece for this teacher, and I changed my mind for a couple of reasons. One, this just doesn't match her personality. She is bubbly, she loves animals, and the one that I started, which I'll show you, it's one of my whips, but it was very dark and it didn't remind me of her as much as this one did. The second reason too is I want to do something on like 14 count Ada so that my kids could put a couple of stitches into it and make it extra special. So in the project itself is meant to fit into a 6x6 frame, so I bought one of those little Mill Hill kit buttons and beads frames just because it was pre-cut and everything. And I stretched it and framed it myself, put it in there, and my kids painted the paw prints on the outside too. So just to give that little extra personalization for her. And she loved it. So that's really good. My second finish is the one that I finished just the other day. So today's Sunday, I finished this Friday night. And this was my closest to a finish, so part of my rotation was to do that. Let's see how the lighting is here. Hold on just a second. Oops. Yeah, it's all right. So if I go over here, you can see where it was compared to last time. And so this is called Spirited Away by LKA Cross or Elka Cross. I stitched this on a 32 count taupe Lugana and using everything called for. Yeah, and I really like the way it turned out. So my rotation, which I started in July, was to have 6 days on 4 different things. and then the extra days. So one of those things is my closest to a finished project. This is no longer my closest to a finish because it is finished, which I'll share my next closest to a finish when I get to my plans. The other 3 slots, 2 of them were for Whipco draws. Whipco is, oh, here comes my cat Hermione. You get to see her. She comes up here usually in the morning. I'm going all over the place here, but usually in the morning I feed her, and then she wants a cuddle, and she takes a nap. So you can see her tail. She so blends in with this couch. But anyway, she's 18 years old. She had, since the last time you saw her, she had surgery to remove a lump on her breast, and it was cancerous. So she's doing all right. She just sneezed a huge booger. Hold on a second. My ramblings were taking me through Whipco, and it's where it's kind of like bingo. You've probably heard of it before if you watch other Flosstube videos. Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff runs it, and you get to plan your own goals, and she pulls 2 per month. This month in August, she pulled the first ones that would make a bingo Whipco, you could say. There's a column, and I'll show you my board because I finished everything in my August, so everything's green. So here's my current board. And as you can see, there's a column that's done. So I decided to reward myself with a new start, which I'm going to show you near the end. And that plus this finish. So yeah, Hermione's on my lap now. She doesn't like to sit down. She's a stinker. So anyway, regarding Spirited Away, I'm going to hold on to this and not frame it for now because I'm working on a similar project that I want to frame kind of like with it. Moving over to the talked about side. So my next, so those were my finishes. That was not FFO'd, obviously, because I talked about framing. FFO means fully finished object. But my first one was, obviously, because it was in a frame. It was something you can do with it, something way to display it. So next, I'm going to talk to you about WIPs, or works in progress. I have 8 things to show you, one of which is a new start. It helps to have notes. So I did work on a lot. I did a WIP parade in my last video, and so you'll see a bunch of my things here, but not all, but most. So the first thing is that I want to show you is, just because I probably worked on it a day after my last video, this is Alphabet by Lottie Da. This is the thing that I was going to gift to a teacher. And I worked on it a teensy-weensy bit since last time. I don't even know how much I got in, so I'll do this so you can see. I might UFO this, I don't know. It's fun to stitch with. So I bought all the called for NPIs. NPI silks, needlepoint ink. They make needlepoint stuff, but they also make silks that you can use for cross stitch. And it's very nice to work with. They're not cheap because they're silks, and they're not variegated like some other silks are, but it's pretty. It's just dark and samplery. I mean, it's a sampler. I'm not much of a sampler person myself, and definitely not the alphabet style. Like, I just don't, I mean, it's pretty. I just don't get stitch in the ABCs. I mean, I get that people used to do it, and that's why it's vintage and folksy and Americana type thing. And, well, you know, they did it in Europe too a lot. But it's just, I don't know, I just can't see putting an alphabet on my walls. But it's pretty though. So I don't know, I might UFO that, I might finish it. I mean, it probably won't take long to just knock that one out. We'll see. We'll see if I get the urge for it. It's not in any of my rotation plans right now, so maybe if I set it aside for a little while, it'll get more interesting. So my next work in progress is my travel piece, where, so this was one where I am stitching the Star Trek logo above the, the original series Star Trek people. And this is by Pixel Power. I bought it off of Etsy, but they have since moved to a website and since charted the logo. And so, you know, if I'd have bought it now, it would have the logo, but the one that I bought didn't have that. So I charted it myself, and I messed it up. So first of all, actually, I'm going to go up and down on this because it's long. So first of all, here's where it is since last time. And it might look like, I don't know if it looks like I'm going backwards or not, but I've been spending most of my time frogging and restarting the logo because I didn't center it right. It's off by 11 stitches. I know how I did that. It was just a weird counting error when I was trying to center it. So I had outlined some of this to stitch it at StitchCon, which was a retreat in June, and maybe filled in the R, and then, after I realized, oh my gosh, this doesn't look like it's going to be center, I moved it over. I frogged the S, and maybe I'm working on frogging the T. You can see. And started on the new S over on this side there. So the S is in the right location. This part is in the right location, and then I'll finish frogging letter by letter and starting letter by letter over here. So kind of backwardsy, not the best progress in the world. Plus, so I stitch on this. I said travel when my son is in drums. Lately, either I have not been taking him, or I just do other things like trying to get some grocery shopping done while he's in his drums. So I have not actually spent that much time on it lately. Okay, so my next project. So remember how I said there are 4 things that I do for 6 days each month. So the 2 of them are Whipco pieces. One is my closest to a finished piece. The next is a gift, and then 4 times 6 is 24. There are less than 24 or more than 24 days in a month. So with the remaining days I work on my one and only stitch along that I'm working on, and maybe anything else that I want to do. So this is the Chronomost Bestiary by, oops, I folded that with no, I didn't. By Ingleside Imaginarium. And I don't think I need the board for this, right? So here I'm caught up. So I'll kind of show you zoomed out compared to last time. Then we'll go in and look at the latest beasts. So the last time you saw this, I probably didn't have the Hydra, which is in the middle. Oh, sorry, other side. And the Chimera, which is on the right. So this makes this piece is halfway done. So I'm super excited. I really do enjoy this project. It is fun and very easy to stitch, and I like the way it is looking. So, and if you watch the Ingleside Imaginarium Flosstube each month too, she does talk about the mythology behind each design, which is really cool. And Hermione, you are on my whip pile. I don't know if you can see her looking at me. She's a stinker. She's like, yeah, I know. What you gonna do about it? Okay, I'm gonna carefully pick you up. I try not to pick her up too much because she's so old, and she had the surgery. It was a month and a half ago, so she's recovered well, and her fur's all growing back and stuff. But she's like, doesn't like to be held either. So cats do. This one does not. Are you trying to get down, or you're gonna knock that down? I've got my almanac frame here, propped up against the bed, or the couch. She's rubbing her head on it because she likes to, and it smells like her because she always rubs her head on it. So my next whip, work in progress, is this is one of the July Whipco pieces. No, please stop that. So in July, I forgot which number, I don't actually know, but this is European Bistro by Dimensions. And I'm stitching this on everything called for, using everything from the kit. Sorry, not called for, but from the kit. So I worked on this for 6 days in July. And here's where that is. So last time I think I got exactly to the halfway point. And so this time I am working on the flowers and the foliage up there, which was very, I don't want to say confetti because there's probably only about 6 colors up there, but it was very not contiguous stitching versus like most of the rest of this is a lot of block coloring, not as much as some other things. But anyway, so it was slow, but it was fun, and I like the way it's looking. Okay, so, but yeah, I should be saying all the fabrics and stuff. Sorry. Let's back up a bit. Alphabet is on a 40 count linen in, goodness, 40 count Newcastle in water green. I don't know the maker or dyer, or it wasn't hand dyed though. It was, so probably either Witch Eldritch Spider. I talked about Spirited Away. I did say that one. Star Trek is on a 28 count white Lugana. Chronomost Bestiary is on a 32 count, 32 count Lugana from, goodness, scratch my head, maybe that'll help. Color and Cotton was one of the Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month clubs that was just for the club. They didn't, I don't think it was part of their main line. And this Dimensions piece is on the kit provided, which I said kit provided, but it's on a 16 count Ada. In case you're curious. Okay, try to say the fabrics going forward. Okay, next, Hermione is sitting on it. But the other thing that got called for me in July was The Castle by Teresa Ansler. And unfortunately it's out of print. Not too hard to find on the secondary market though. I bought the book long before it went out of print. This is on, okay, so let's do before and after. So this is on a, well, I ordered 32 count Lugana and Mercedes by Picture This Plus. Unfortunately, I think they accidentally gave me a 36 count because it's much, much tinier than my other 32 count Luganas, even from Picture This Plus. But yeah, so in the 6 days, you can see I think I finished the wing and backstitched the upper right side for the most part. Not entirely, but for the most part. There is still some dragging on the top half, so I wouldn't say I'm top half done with this, but I'm close, right? So this is a fun one to stitch. Also not very contiguous color block stitching. So it's slow, but fun, I would say. But it's, yeah, the block stitching, which tends to go really fast, which my next two projects were, though. So in August, the two projects that got called, I'm going to do this in the order that I stitched them. So, so were my two Mirabilias that I have. Queen of Freedom by Mirabilia, also unfortunately out of print. And I bought it just after it went out of print from Mindy on Facebook. She sold it for the retail price, so I got real lucky there. So I started this on Inauguration Day this year and worked on it about a week, and then this is 6 more days of progress. It's not much because I kind of messed up and had to frog a bunch and then restitch it, so, but I did work my way up a bit more. You can kind of see that she's holding the book. I have not yet stitched her skin because I want to do it in like a darker color. She's supposed to be Greek, and this fabric is the We the People printed fabric by Flair. It's the 32 count even weave. I think it's Lugana. But yeah, this is really nice to stitch, really fun. I want to work my way up to her face so she can have a face and figure out which colors to make her skin as well, which I have not yet sorted out. Pretty soon though, before I get too far up there. But so it's Queen of Freedom. My next piece, the other Mirabilia that I have as a whip that got called for the month of August, is Winter White Santa. This one is still in print. It's a Christmassy piece, which is always fun. So I have finished the last time, I think, the top half, which is not half of all the stitching because it gets bigger down below. But here's where it was compared to last time. This is on a, I think, 32 count Lugana in a Fabrics by Stephanie that I don't recall and don't have the little paper that they gave me when I bought it from my LNS. I worked on the tree, as you can see. It has a Karen Water Lilies in it, Umbria, which was really fun to stitch. That gives that red and green variegation, plus a couple of DMC colors in there. If you've been watching me, you'll see that I did it, or you'll know, but I did a skin conversion on his face to make him a little deeper, darker toned. And I didn't finish the tree in 6 days. There's still another few rows of stitching, but it was all block stitching, just like Queen Freedom. It's still rows, and then there's presents down below that, and then there's his coat, which is huge and glamorous, or glorious, beautiful. Lots of good things. Very Mirabilia-ish. So let's put him away. And what's next? Okay, so those were all my existing works in progress. I mentioned earlier that I started a new thing, which I'm going to show you now. This, I started, Glory in the Morning. This thing is a beast. So buckle up. This is a huge, huge project. It's one of my biggest. It's not my absolute biggest. I think it's number 3 in my works in progress. Numbers 1 and 2 I didn't show you because I didn't work on them. So let's see. It is 138 by 507. Those 507 stitches. That's pretty big. I am stitching this, so I have it in my frame, so I'm going to show you what the called for, not called for necessarily, but the model is stitched on a piece of fabric. Sorry, this is by Crosswing Collection. The model is stitched on a piece of fabric that Crosswing Collection dyes, so they dye fabric, or they do painted, in this case it's hand-painted fabric, and it's in like 3 of their colors, so there's 3 sections with their 3 of their lines that they did, which I think the effect is really cool. So I ordered a piece of that and started on this. I only worked on it for like a few minutes, maybe an hour last night while we were watching Tombstone with my husband. We watched the Val Kilmer documentary, and now we're watching some of his movies. So it's still on my scroll rod, just behind it. And I started, you can see the little birdie. So I'm going to hold it off to the side so I can get a good before for next time. But I still have it attached to my needle, and it's in the blue up top. So I started at the top. I'm going to work my way down. I don't know if you can see how thick this is down here for how long it is. But, you know, versus up here where it's not even rolled around at all because it's the top. But this is going to be a, oh yeah, the fabric, I didn't specify, but I ordered it from my LNS, and they gave me a 28 count linen, which is fine. I've been working on like 32 count Lugana, so it seems big, even though it's not that much bigger. But it's really nice though. It's really pretty. Yeah, it's going to be a gift for my mom at some point. I don't think I'll get it. Her birthday and Mother's Day are both in May. I don't think I'll get it done by then, but maybe one of these years at Christmas or something. We'll see. So I am going to work on that though as my gift. At least for the foreseeable future. So getting into my plans, we'll see what gets called for September. So I'm working on this for the rest of August. So that what you saw there was just 1 day of stitching. So hopefully I'll be able to make some progress. I don't know if I'll be posting that on Instagram or not. I don't have to say it's a gift for her. I can just post it. Maybe I'll do that and just say, hey, look, new start. And only you who watch my YouTube videos will know. And then so September, or at the end of August, when Jessie calls the September Whipco pieces, I'll work on those in September, plus the next Chronomost Bestiary beast. And And this will be my gift. And then my closest to a finished piece is, I'm going to show you that one. And it's kind of what I would consider the companion piece to the Spirited Away. It's Totoro. So, so this one is my next closest to a finish, because these are pretty small. These are fat 8s. But also on the same 32 count taupe Lugana. And, oops, I'm showing you the back. So, that's how far I got. Just barely the tip of Totoro and a lot of the tree, but not all of the tree. It's still my closest to a finish because it's so dang small. So maybe next time it'll be interesting. And once that guy's done, we'll frame them I'll frame them together. Yeah, also by LK Across. I'm going to link everything below. So if you are curious about something that you can still buy, you should be able to easily find it by clicking the drop-down box. So that's, I think I covered everything in my plans. Haul. I have a little bit to show you, because again, it's been 2 months, so a long period of time, but also not buying as much. The big thing is that I went to Fire Poppies when we were down in South Carolina. It was fun. We took a vacation in July, right after, or not, a couple weeks after my last video. We took a week-long trip. We went to Charleston first and then Myrtle Beach. And while we were in Charleston, I had to stop by Fire Poppies, which is in LNS. I have ordered from them before. And if you order from them online, they put a little piece of Charleston Chew candy in each order. They do that when you go to the store, too. So that was fun. But I picked up a couple of things. Not too crazy, but I bought Golden Girl apples by Mirabilia. I like this one a lot. It's been on my want to buy list, my wish list for quite a while. I bought the Just Cross Stitch Halloween book, magazine, for 2021. Got the year right. And a couple of Petite Treasure braids for a chatelaine I'm kitting up. So that's that. The rest is mail order stuffs. So I've, again, that chatelaine I'm kitting up. It's Octopus Treasure Cave. I want to stitch it on black Lugana because I'm crazy. Or it's actually, sorry, not black Jobelin. You can't buy black Lugana anymore for some reason. So I ordered all this from 123 Stitch. I got some of the silks in here. I bought the bead pack already. I'm actually going to put this in the bag. Got a few more Glorianas on order because apparently a lot of Gloriana was on back order. Gloriana silks. So the rest of my haul is fabrics, like a ridiculous amount of them. From Fabric of the Month clubs for the most part. Almost all color and cotton. And my kids are up, so I'm going to make this quick. So these, I'm just going to show you quickly. So my 32 count Fabric of the Month club, which I just canceled, by the way. And we have Old West, Kiwi, and this one, Harvest Moon, and this one just came, was in the mailbox this morning. Neptune, it kind of looks like Serene. I picture this whole Serene. So then in the Crazy Annie's club, which I'm in the colored 28 count linen, acid wash, soft apricot. Sorry, I'm not taking them out. Macaroon. And then finally, I have this giant yard of white 14 count Ada that I bought for the gift. So I just cut the little piece out of it for a 10 by 10 piece for a 6 by 6 frame. So that's all I have to share with you today. I think, yep, that's all. So I have to get going because my kids are up and I gotta feed them, and then I've got some housework to do, and maybe I'll get to editing this afternoon. So have a great rest of your summer if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, winter if you're in the Southern, and I will see you all next time. No promises as to when that's going to be, but happy stitching, everybody. Think critically, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye!